Hey friends, I'm Emily from the Pen and Planner Posse, and I just wanted to make a video to show you guys how I use every single section of my planner to live the most productive life possible. So, opening it up, I have sticky note dashboards, of course, who doesn't? I love planning with sticky notes, so there's lots of that. I recently did a little planner refresh, and even though it's a Squad Goals planner, I gave it kind of a little farmhouse upgrade, so that's why this is in the front. This section, I know a lot of people are confused on how to use. I've actually been using it to track all of the silly holidays there are. I have an app that tells me what they all are, and it's really fun just recording them. Sometimes I get spread ideas. So I have all of the silly holidays from July to December in here, and I'll continue writing them out for the future months, but it just kind of took a while. Currently page, okay. So here we have my month view, and I never am like super successful at having like a super duper decorative but also functional month view. So normally functionality wins out on this, but this month I just kind of had fun throwing some like summery looking fruit and a few stickers on here. But I really swear by my month view. I always write it, or I always use it to write out like weeks when I know I have like special work things. I mean, it's good for bills, things like appointments for our puppy, birthdays, you know, all of the big events, what most people use it for. Oh, I also use it for things like this. Like I have my recycling tracked for the days we took our recycling, so we know kind of when we need to do it next. And here's sort of a flip through of my spreads for the month. I'll skip over to today and show you guys just kind of how I use a weekly view. I'm always interested in the functionality of people's planners, so here in the sidebar I always have a running to-do list for the week where it's like specific tasks that I need to do for the week, but it maybe doesn't matter like what particular day I do it on, but I always have this going and I can kind of brain dump on it. Like I know I need to do this week, and if I find myself having a little extra time one of the other days in the week, I'll go ahead and schedule in one of those to-dos for one of these days. But I've really found that using a checklist for every day is like super important for me. I mean, looking back at these spreads, you see I always have checklists now. It's just kind of become my thing, and that really helps me be productive. So my checklists always have my to-dos. Even though they're sometimes kind of like monotonous, I'm always writing the same things in, like devotional, prayer time, big posts. I mean, there's a lot of the same. It really helps me writing it in and crossing it off every single time, even if it gets to be a lot. Then I like to use a lot of colorful boxes and icons to mark off what else I'm doing that week. Oh, I have a little bit of a grocery list going on, because if you didn't know, I've been trying to use a mini planner for my on the go, but I can just never make that work. I don't know why, but I just can't do writing plans in like more than one planner. So I just have the one, and I just have to find a purse all the time now that fits my classic. It's actually brought me a lot of planner peace, just having my one classic. So I take this in the grocery store with me. I carry it around like this, and people literally sometimes have asked me in the store, "Oh, do you work here? Can you help me with this?" Because they see me walking around with this big chunky planner and they think I'm important or something, which is kind of funny. But anyway, I do take this planner around with me everywhere. So this is my catch-all planner. I'm skipping on. So I am a true Franken planner. So all of these inserts back here we just flip through belong to the Squad Goals planner. Oh, and I'll explain. I always include like the month views and the currently pages for all of the months, and then later when it gets closer to that month, I'll put the weeks in, so my planner isn't like huge. I do carry usually like 6 months at a time with me. That helps me plan ahead the best. But moving on, so that's my catch-all. Now here we have my wellness section, and I'm using this really cute Squad planner from last year, the lined vertical. So here on my monthly, I have to catch it up actually, I track a lot of health things with these little icon stickers, like weight. I've been trying to track my weight every week. I'm meaning to lose around like probably 10 pounds, and that's just like a personal goal, but I do track things like my monthly cycle and other health things, and like the times I go for a run and meet my water goal for the day, all that good stuff. And usually I'll make like a little key over here with the stickers that I'm using to identify what everything is, but for right now I can just remember, so I don't have a key yet. Yep, it's not super decorated. And this is the first time I've actually like really been trying to decorate my wellness spreads. So here's a good one. Let me pop this out for a second. So I've been using this top bar on the top as a box to track my workouts. And then down here, I write out my breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, and dessert for the day. And that's just kind of helpful for me to see. I get to keep track of what I've been eating that week and maybe how I can improve the next week, which Lord knows I need to stop eating so many sweets. That's definitely my weak spot. But over here I try to include like a little on the menu sticker each week, and sometimes it doesn't always get used the way I may be thinking it will, but that's just kind of helpful for me to plan out what meals we're having each week, how many times I need to cook, that sort of thing. I know between me and my husband, we usually get at least 1 or 2 nights of leftovers out of a meal whenever I cook. So normally when I'm planning, it goes leftovers, cook, and so on. Unless it's something I know makes like a lot of leftovers. That way I'm able to kind of make a list every Saturday when I'm meal planning, how many meals I need to cook that week. It's usually around 3 or 4. But then I normally also keep a couple of little trackers, and I did hydrate ones at the bottom this week, but I normally do some little habit trackers on the side. Like lately I've been really trying to keep track of my vitamins because I have a tendency to get headaches and like muscle cramps and different sorts of things, just some health issues I have. I don't take my vitamins. And then I consider devotional and prayer to be part of my own health and wellness. So that's something else I track here sometimes. Although I think more recently I started tracking that in my devotional section. Oh yeah, look, instead I switched it out these last couple weeks. So I'm doing vitamins, water, and workout, and just kind of leaving that all in like physical health, which I think makes a little more sense to me. But yeah, see, I have workouts on the top and then meals kind of throughout the page, and there's a lot of room to be decorative. I've kind of played around with the idea of maybe doing a little more journaling, which might be kind of a cool idea. We'll see. I'll maybe play around with that in August. Here's this week. All right, moving on, we have my social media section, which I just started using this dashboard layout, and I absolutely love it. It's super great, very functional for me. So it's just lightly decorated. But here on my month view, I'll show you how I use it. I track Planner Babe birthdays for the people who drop their birthdays in the question box when I put it on my stories. I track their birthdays so I can wish them happy birthday on their birthdays. I have important dates for our Pen and Planner Posse, our Pen and Planner Posse channel, and then I have maybe a couple month to-dos on the side, and then I made some inserts for myself, which is something I've been meaning to do, is do Friday favorites, like shout outs during the week. Every Friday I mean to shout out like 5 planner accounts, but for whatever reason the last couple of Fridays I've been really busy, so I need to get back on track with that. I was meaning to write out all the accounts at so-and-so, at so-and-so, and so on, so I don't keep shouting out the same girls like every time. And then I wanted to track like how many followers my Instagram is growing every week, although I just kind of been writing it here. Like I know the week before I grew 57 followers, then the next week I grew 70 followers, and so on. I have spread ideas and video ideas because I'm hoping to get a YouTube channel up and going pretty soon. We'll see, kind of work in progress. I'm a YouTube newbie. All right, here's where I started using this planner. That was kind of an experimental week. This was last week. All right, so when I use the layout here, this big box in the corner, it's a shot list for all of the posts I mean to make, and I created a little post schedule back here where I have the kinds of posts I'm supposed to make every week. So I have like my weekdays, and then it's two a day, and this is so organized it cycles through all of my planners, all of the before the pen and after the pen spreads possible for each layout. And sometimes I'll deviate from this depending on the day. Maybe I don't have a week done in a certain planner, but this is just a good guideline. So I'll go through and fill in all of the posts I'm supposed to make, and then create this shot list over here of all the pictures I'm supposed to take, and that kind of helps my brain figure out like, oh, okay, that's a picture I still need to take, or maybe that's one I've already done. And if I ever batch shoot I'll write over here an edit list, so I know like which pictures I've taken but still need to be edited and so on. This week in particular, I actually didn't even have anything to put on the edit list because I was taking photos day by day, so that worked out really nicely. That week I had time to take a couple photos every night. And then I have just general to-dos here, and then in this bottom box I've been focusing on the growth of my Instagram. So I write down the number of followers I have Monday morning, and then the number of followers I have Sunday evening, so kind of bookending the week. And that week I grew 70 followers, which might not seem like a lot, but for me it's pretty nice considering I only had like 400 followers on my account back in like June, and now here we are at like 1,300. So I've been, booking it on this growth, so I'm like actually super proud of myself. But anyway, moving on, up here I use this little section for our Pen and Planner Posse channel. I'm actually partly responsible for running the Instagram over there, so I keep track of our Instagram following over here as well, how many followers we gain each day, and then I kind of have our YouTube posting schedule on this side. And then this is how many followers my Instagram had every night at 11 p.m. All right, so that's how I use my social media planner. And I don't think there is anything else that's super helpful. Those were kind of running notes. Okay, and then here we are in my devotional planner. So over here in my month view, I tuck away these are my sermon notes, and I just kind of stick them in there. So when I go to church, I just have a little bit of paper, and there's always some paper right here in the month that I can use to take my sermon notes. And then at the end of the month, when I'm putting my inserts back in their own planners, because this is Frankenplan, I only have July from this planner in this planner altogether. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. Frankenplanning is pretty common thing in the community. But anyway, this is my like faith notes, and I'll just put the sermon notes like back in here, and I have like tons and tons and tons of them. Then normally I would track scripture plans with She Reads Truth. I do these amazing study books from She Reads Truth. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They do these subscription boxes. It's $25 a month, and you usually get 1 or 2 books a month, and you can like read along with the community, and the app has commentary, but each day they have a new reading, and normally I'll put the readings on the month view so I can keep track. But unfortunately this month I actually like really messed up the month view and like wrote it on the wrong week, so it has not been real functional for me this time around, but I'm meaning to fix it in August. But anyway, this down to the weekly spreads in this planner. This was a very popular spread on my Instagram, by the way, so this is a good one to use as an example, I guess. I'll write the title of my study that day at the top and like the day number. So that was day number 15, the study over Mary Magdalene, and day 16 was John, and so on. And then I have bullets, and I'll write in all of the scriptures that were used in that study, and then I just take notes just all the way through. And I kind of ignore the, I covered them up, actually a lot of things. Observation application is kind of what it says. I sort of ignore that prompt. That's not really how my brain works when I'm taking devotional notes, so I just note take all the way through. I just kind of ignore and just journal all the way down to the bottom. And then over here on the side, I'll record blessings throughout the week, things I'm thankful for, and how God's maybe revealed himself to me that week, answering some prayers and whatnot. So that's kind of the gist of my faith planner. Oh, look, let's see here. I started where I'm tracking the devotional and prayer time. That was actually a really bad week for the both of those. I had been doing better the rest of the month, but that was not the best. So, well, I actually forgot to put trackers in this week. I'll have to make sure I do that. Okay, so that is the last planner in my catch-all planner, but you see there's still quite a bit of stuff back here. So I'll just take you through all my tabs for a second. I actually got this idea of doing tabs for all of these things from Mermaid's Logic, and I thought it was a super great idea. And this has helped my brain so much. I think this is really like kind of the kicker for my planner piece, because for real guys, like I'm in serious like mojo planner piece with this setup right now. It is like so working for me. But here I have a brain dump section. I just have notes, and they're just running lists. Just anytime I'm starting to feel stressed, a little overwhelmed, I just write out these lists and lists and lists, and I can kind of see it all in one place and organize. So I'll make sub lists of the big lists, and that really helps me. Then I have a prayer request sheet, which I'm actually finding I don't use as much as I maybe thought in this planner, because most days I'm doing really good about sitting down and actually using my prayer journal and writing the requests in there. But this is really more just for me to write things down. If I'm ever out and someone is telling me about a prayer request they have, I can pull out my planner and write it down in there, so I have a spot for it. And then I have planner ideas, which I might take out and just kind of absorb into the social media, but we'll see. I've been tracking like, oh, these are meals I need to put in my planner, and then my really crooked memory planning tracker, like all the months I have to catch up on. And then, if you guys didn't know, I am one of those crazy people who cuts up all of her sticker books and organizes them in crazy sections because I'm anal like that and kind of OCD, and I can't stand flipping through a sticker book to find things. So I actually have my alphabetical list of sticker sections for how I organize them in my bins, which needs some updating. As you can see, I've scratched out some tabs and I'll have to like rewrite them. It's been very functional. It is not for everyone. Not everyone could cut up their sticker books the way I do. I think it drives the average person pretty crazy, but for me, it helps me think better and I'm more functional that way. So I have all of my alphabet stickers together and all of my checklist stickers together. So when I'm doing a spread and I'm thinking like, oh wow, I really need some checklists this week, I can just pull out my checklist folder and they're all in there. So kind of crazy, but it works for me. A list I've been meaning to make. Okay, and then I have this little home section, which is small, but I just recently became a wife and I do kind of run a household. Even though we don't have kids, but we do have a rental house and a lot of pets. So I have home stuff. I've been tracking all of our online orders, which has been super, super helpful. So every time we make an order, I write it on the list and then I check it off when it arrives. And this is just a good way of keeping track of my orders and making sure that we're not paying for things that never came. I have a check record, so I'll write a check, then check it off whenever it's been cashed, so we know that, you know, our money is not just floating around out there. Orders continued. Oh, because we live in a small town, I have this list of going in town errands because I kind of live out of town, any big cities anyway. So I write down any errands we might need to run in any of the big stores. Bills, like the dates that the auto pays go in. Then, oh, here we go, meals to add to my recipe planner, things I've cooked. And then my very neglected last time I sheet, which I have not kept up well with. I was using this to track all of those chores that you do every so often. A lot of people have those. And then here's my people section. I kind of have contacts, some sticky notes. We just moved, so it's helpful for me to have like our vet info handy if I need to call them. Same thing with my husband's barber, our pharmacy in town, the lady we take our rent to, all that good stuff. And then I have a small birthday list at hand, so I always know. Oh, I've been meaning to make a restaurant orders list. So forever like ordering out, I don't have to like call around and hunt down my husband to find out what he wants from our favorite restaurants. I can just have it on hand. So I've been meaning to add that. And then finally, well, not finally, but I guess there's a few more sections. We do have notes here. This looks like some work gibberish I was writing down, horns and trombones from work, trying to keep track of what we had at our old band hall. Okay, and then I have some of these workouts that I stole from Pinterest, and I just wrote out some of these little workouts on Pinterest and gave them my own like titles. They're just some like floor workouts to do at home, and some self-care challenges, these sorts of sheets. And then, oh yeah, this is straight from Mermaid's Logic for sure. A suggestions tab I thought was incredible, and here I just write down, it's not very organized, it's kind of a brain dump section too. Books to buy, read, products to try, movies to watch, shows to watch, all of that sort of thing. And then I have some extra paper, an envelope I sometimes keep cash in, folder for, you know, the paraphernalia you sometimes need on hand, like stamps and dentist reminders, and the menu to your favorite Chinese restaurant. It's all in there. And then lastly, some important stickers I always need on hand. Like these are the ones I use for those wellness icons. I have some of our little puppy golden retriever, and then some other like general planner ones if for some reason I'm without stickers at any time. So this has been a flip through of how I use my planner, how I make it functional for me. I hope it was helpful for you guys. It maybe gave you some ideas on how you can make your planner more functional for you. Please go like the video and subscribe to our channel at the Pen and Planner Posse. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.